Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. It's the week after Christmas, before New Year's, where nobody's really working, yet some people are still at work, and the kids are still being brats and they want to return their gifts. And you're like, I'll send you straight back to Santa. You know what I mean? So, anyway, we're here to provide you a little joy and entertainment. Kira takes massive dig at ex Romeo and gives a breakup update. We're going to follow this in Bachelor Nation News. We're barrel scraping. It is barrel scraping season, although there is no shortage of content. Today we've got an Accutane video from Rachel Recchia, Kira taking a massive dump on Romeo. We've got Aaron Clancy responding to if he'll get back together with Genevieve Parisi. Spoiler, no. But we've got a lot to talk about on this sort of off week. And apparently, I'm the only person making content this week. Did I get the memo to take the week off? No, I didn't. Everyone else is like, here's the best things of 2020. No, 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 no. We're making content. We're doing it our way. You're going to like this video one way or another, and you're going to subscribe if you haven't already, because that's what talks is your ability to subscribe to the channel. And to be quite honest, because there isn't much news, we could really use your help. So 50% of the audience is not subscribed. Double check and see if you are. Let's end 2022 on a high note. Speaking of ending on a high note, Kira responds with a new breakup update. And ladies, listen, help me out here. I don't mean to generalize. Does everybody get bangs after they go through a breakup? Is that how it works? Yeah, I understand you got to change your identity. And again, not identity, but I know you got to clip your nails, exfoliate, get rid of that yuck. I do the same thing. You go through something gross, you're like, I need a haircut and to shave. And I'm there right now, even though I will tell you, there's something about this South Carolina water that is making my hair look mighty nice today. All right, so let's get into it. Kira takes massive dig at Romeo. Play the tape. Have a listen.
Ever since Romeo and I announced our breakup a few weeks ago, I've been getting a lot of questions like, how are you doing? What are you doing? Are you bothered that people see that Romeo is on Bumble right now?
And I'm going to break it up, and I'm just going to do it because of the licensed music in the background. So it's like, oh my gosh, you can only play 10 seconds at a time. Are you bothered that people see that Romeo is on Bumble right now? I still don't even know if Kira and Romeo were a real couple in the first place. I met him like a day or two before they broke up. He seemed perfectly fine and happy to me. I think it's all staged. I don't know.
And I just want to come on here to address those questions. So I'm doing great, and I've been doing a lot of self-reflection, and I've decided
Kira, staring at the mirror isn't self-reflection.
that I really want a very stable, mature, grounded man in my life. So I ended up sliding into Pete Davidson's DMs, and so now we're like dating. And unlike Romeo, Pete, he's funny on purpose, not on accident, like Romeo.
Now, look, okay, so I appreciate the humor, and I'm not here to, any amount of judging humor kind of makes me sound bitter. So 100% A plus for going for it. Although I do have to say this, and I'm sure Kira would appreciate this as a doctor, being surgically precise with your words. See what I did there? We're surgical. You need an efficiency with words here. So she says, and unlike Romeo, Pete, he's funny on purpose, not on accident like Romeo. It's redundant, and what you want to do here is get rid of one of the Romeos because you want to end on a hard note, like you want to end like on a punctuation. So you could be like, unlike Romeo, Pete is funny on purpose. So you ended it on purpose, right? We understand it's implied, not on accident like unlike Romeo's no, you know what? There's no other way to say it. Unlike Romeo, Pete is funny on purpose. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Not on accident, like Romeo. So that's
I don't mean to comic explain. I'm just, hey.
An upgrade. And then I think the other thing that I realized really is I really want to have kids like right now.
She could also say something like, unlike unfortunately for Romeo, unlike the book, he survives. I don't know, like that's pretty dark, something like that.
Right now. So I reached out to Nick Cannon and Elon Musk for assistance.
Okay.
And I have 2 buns in the oven right now. So yeah, that's my update. In short, Romeo can stay on Bumble and I will stay in these streets.
All right, very nice. Hey, look, I like it, and I'll be quite honest. My first reaction to watching this was to roll my eyes to the back of my head, but that could have been the spiked eggnog. I don't know. No, generally appreciate what Kira's doing with her social media, and look, I am no one to criticize what people do with their social media. Actually, a little spat earlier this week with Elizabeth Corrigan. No, I wouldn't call it a spat. She posted, I guess, what's called a carousel when you post multiple photos, a wheel, whatever it is, of photos, and one of which was Romeo. He's no longer in this deck of photos. I'm assuming she took him out, but he was in there. So a user friend of the program, Jen, said, "At D Neal's, more popcorn," and I replied with, like, I don't know, licking my lips. I don't know what that is. I'm 37. What do I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what emojis you mean. Maybe that was offensive. And then Elizabeth goes, "Questionable emojis on you and Jen's parts." And I really? Okay. And then I said, I think the popcorn, and then I had to break it down. I was like, I think the popcorn reference is to a possible romance with Romeo, and my emoji is to the possible story of a possible romance. All love. And to which I would have appreciated Elizabeth to reply, "Oh yeah, no worries." You know what I mean? And then Jen goes, "Definitely in good fun. I chat with Dame Neal anytime we see potential romances pop up." So, as do 60,000 other people. Like, and of course, we appreciate Jen. But a lot of people will tag me in things, and I'll respond and try to be playful. But of course, we're not trying to be I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings out there. Which was surprising to me when I got this screen grab sent to me from Christy. "Dave, you're getting a bad rap for not being fair to women. Don't be like Nick." My first response, and the quickest, was, "I'm not getting a bad rap. Weird comment." And I don't get these too often, but every once in a while, if someone doesn't like one specific thing I did or said, and it happens to be about someone who's not the same gender as me, then they think I just hate women. I absolutely love women. I think women are very much half of the world. I mean, like, kidding me? I married a woman. Can you believe that? But I understand that people will just immediately just like lose their mind if, like, me, a man, would say something mildly critical about a woman. And two people got upset about this thumbnail that I made, which showed the peak moment of Michelle Young's expression. I make thumbnails that elicit the greatest expression for two reasons. It helps you click on the thumbnail and so I can make more content. And Google Images, which owns YouTube, actually scans thumbnails and says, "Okay, we've got Rodney smiling and we have someone who's shocked. This must be an interesting thumbnail." That's how it works, folks. Welcome to the internet. It's 2022. So either way, if I did this about a guy, no one would care. But, "Oh, you did Michelle Young dirty." Well, I just paused her own video. I mean, I could have just showed her not showing any emotion at all. She wasn't angry. She was just a surprised emotion. But anyway, I digress with this little side topic here. But the point being is that I was a little, when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, Kira, you're trying so hard." But then I remember I dance in my pajamas. So, like, who am I? Who am I? You know what I mean? I'm dancing in my pajamas. I'm doing the tap dance with the wife here, which, by the way, we crushed it. If you're going to dance, you better go all out. I had pulled a hamstring, I think. Either way. So the point being is that, like, everyone on social media, you do what you need to do to get your followers. I'm going to try my best not to judge. Now, we've made a ton of content about Kira in the past, and I've been very careful to be as mindful to the discussion as possible. Nick questioned her character, and when people are allowed to, when they see someone on a show who's, like, I don't know, snapping back about weird things or generating traffic in what might be in an inauthentic way. I'm not saying she's doing that, but that's what he's questioning. Kira called out Justin with receipts. So clearly we've got months and months worth of mess that have been happening, where Justin goes, "I don't even remember meeting Kira. Who's she?" And she's like, "I was in the same group photo as you." And he's like, "Yeah, that doesn't mean I give two craps, And then, of course, we have the ugly breakup from just a week and a half ago, where Kira's statement was, "Romeo and I have gone our separate ways. Sometimes you shouldn't give people a second chance to disappoint you." And then he said, "Just when I thought I was out." So it's kind of it's almost one of those, like, horror movies where the guy thinks he's killed the bad guy and then he comes back from the dead. That's their relationship. And of course, we go all the way back to almost a year ago when we first met Kira, and she was criticized for inappropriate doctor behavior. Now, rather than just say, oh, it's fine or it's not fine, we do what we do. We barrel scrape and we go deep into it. And we looked into the fact that a lot of people that work in healthcare are slut shamed and judged at a level that's inappropriate. That doesn't make sense. But also at the same time, there is some valid criticism from someone when you look at this thumbnail that would criticize her for role playing as a doctor when there are doctors out there that have committed atrocious in illegal behavior, because in the guise of giving their medical opinion. You know what I mean? So you can look at both sides of a story and not lose your mind, folks. So yeah, we've covered it all. And of course, I've been excited that Kira's responded to haters. My time on Bachelor in Paradise has nothing to do with my career as a doctor. I completely agree with her. She's a first responder. She worked through the pandemic. That's all good stuff. She got shamed by Joe. Joe said, at least we know Kira is in it for OnlyFans and not Instagram followers. And someone replied, yawn, boring, deeply unlikable, get better jokes. And it's like, yeah, she can flash her lab coat and show off her bikini. Like, that's perfectly fine on a show where you're, trying to bang in a yurt or, a palapa, not a big deal, folks. So anyway, as we look back on 2022, and to answer the question, am I getting a bad rap for not being fair to women? I say no. I don't think I am getting a bad rap. And if we have 60 to 100,000 people watching the channel and a few people feel like I'm unfair because of a screen grab or, whatever, I say do a better job. Do a better job at listening to what I'm saying and all of the case studies. There need not be any sort of deep dive into where I stand on these issues. They're out there, right for you to see. All right, so anyway, chaos indeed exists in the Kira world. We'll see if Romeo responds. So far, we have no answer from him. I'm going to have more content for you all day long. I'm flying back to Los Angeles tonight, so I got to rush and get my content done. If you want, you can check out my podcast. It's going to be live this afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, where I compile all of the day's news into a sometimes shorter version, about a 30-minute version of everything we got in the YouTube form today. So anyway, if you want to check that out, link in the comment section below. We'll be back with more content right after this.